Good morning. It's the day after Father's Day, and Robbie spent the night here last night. I tried to keep him as busy as I could. I drove around a lot, used up a lot of gas in my car. We bought him the new video, which he watched all of about 5 minutes, and he was done because he doesn't know that movie. I see the reflection of the windows in my glasses. I could see that must be annoying. Here, let me take them off. This morning, he woke up here, not in his group home, so I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. I tried to give him Frozen again, and apparently that ticked him off because he grabbed the DVD cover, threw it across the room, and then he came after me, grabbed my shirt, pulled on it, and I have, you can't get away from him. So your choices are, if you see it coming, run. If he's too quick and he grabs a hold of you, he's trying to pull you down to the ground and he wants to hear your shirt rip. So I decided to save my knees, but I let him rip my shirt. So as you can see here, you know, it's just a crappy old t-shirt anyway, so I figured, you know, just let him rip. And then after he heard it rip, he calmed right down. But he was mad, and I stuck him in the shower, and that calmed him down for a while. Then I brought him back out here, and I found some old VHS tapes that I have in the basement, so I put an old VHS tape, and he seemed to be okay. He slammed back in his chair that I'm in, you know, several times. He kept sitting down and slamming back in my recliner, and here, let me show you what he did, what's going on with the recliner. I don't know if you can see, but the springs are starting to pop out. So they are about to bust through this material and break. If he sits in this again, he's going to bust my chair. So he was sitting in the chair. He actually was okay with the video that I gave him, and he started to cry. So, you know, I can't say it's for no reason. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is, and I just don't know what's going on, and I don't know what's upsetting him. It could be that he hasn't had a bowel movement in a couple days and his stomach hurts. It could be, who knows, he's upset that he's here. I am blaming myself because last weekend I didn't pick him up like I usually do because I was going to graduation parties and things, and so I didn't bring him home for his usual visit. So it was too much time being in the group home. Too many new staff members, I think. The only thing I can figure out is when every time he has new people, they don't understand him and they don't know what he wants. And he can't communicate. And before, if you wanted a new video, he would just keep coming and handing you a new video and a new video until he found one that he was happy with. Now what he's doing, what he did with me, is he gave me one shot, and if it wasn't the right one, bam, he grabbed my shirt, pulled. He's just mad now. He's just sick and tired of trying to communicate and people not understanding him, and it's just ticking him off. So, you know, and the Risperdal is supposed to block this aggressive behavior. It's not doing the job, and yet he's also turning around and crying, which he doesn't cry. So, you know, I was just thinking, I think he needs to go back and see the psychiatrist and see what's going on. And I actually got notified from his group home that he's not allowed to come back now until he sees the psychiatrist. And that's for the safety of the staff and for Robbie's safety too. It's for both. So I had appointments this afternoon for work that I need to cancel because it looks like Robbie's going to be staying home with me now until we can get an appointment with the psychiatrist and see what's going on. I'm not angry, I'm frustrated and really want to cry myself when I see Robbie cry. It's because something's going on in there and I just don't know what. Okay, all cleaned up on my way to work. I just had to cancel my appointment for tonight because these people have a paint emergency and called me 3 times today because the painter's at their house and wants a color and they can't pick a color, and this is their emergency that they're hounding me about. And I was going to go there tonight at 7 after Robbie's doctor's appointment, and I had to call and cancel them, and they're having a fit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry, but, you know, I have other things that are more important and more of an emergency that I have to deal with than this. You know, I told them I'm working in the store today till 3 o'clock. Come and see me at the store. If they're that desperate, come see me at the store. It's one of those days where I'm like, it's one thing after the other between my phone calls and stuff back and forth about Robbie this morning, trying to get him situated, him, you know, ripping my house apart, and then these people calling me about their stupid paint colors. I love my job, but not on days like this. Ah! I gotta go. Out. Okay, so it's about 3:30. I have Robbie. He got dropped off at my house about 10 after 3. I had to hurry up, give him his 3 o'clock meds, give him a snack. We're back in the car because we have to drive a half hour away to the doctor, who is a physiatrist. I had never heard of a physiatrist. They do physical therapy in his office. An orthopedist had said that he wanted to do surgery on Robbie. I brought him to a second opinion at the UMDNJ in Newark. That doctor also wanted to do surgery, but he sent me to the physiatrist first to do testing on Robbie. They put electrodes on his legs or something and tested to see the nerve endings if they responded. Anyway, I decided I don't want Robbie to have surgery because I don't want him spending 3 months in a wheelchair. So we're going back a year later to go see the physiatrist because he said to put like leg braces on Robbie's legs. They're not really braces, they're what you would wear if you sprained an ankle, because they help keep Robbie's feet straight. So I'm hoping this doctor will help us. He can be the one to keep an eye on Robbie's feet to avoid having surgery. So that's today's visit, and I'm gonna again keep him busy. He's sleeping over my house tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna do the same thing, but we're going to see the psychiatrist instead. As you can see, Robbie's in a great mood because he was back in his day program today. And he was back on schedule. Got his life back to normal with people that know him and love him and understand him. And And now he's happy again. He was confused this morning. He didn't know what was going on. Why am I back home? You know. I think the problem he had over this weekend was there's subs on, people that don't know him. I'm going to have to, I think, ask them to let me know every time there's subs on. I'll just bring him home for the weekend because this is not working for him. Happy now. You're happy now. Okay, 2 hours later, we are done. We waited an hour in the waiting room, but thank God Robbie is in a really good mood, and I just kept feeding him Cheerios. Then we went in to see Dr. Kava, and we love Dr. Kava. He's just the nicest man. I think he's a teacher also, so he likes to talk and instruct and explain everything in a way that I can understand everything that he's talking about, and he'll chat about, you know, the family and the whole, you know, he just spends a whole hour, and he's so good with Robbie, and he's great. So what we learned was from the test that he did last time, Robbie does not have Charcot-Marie-Tooth syndrome, but he does have symptoms very similar. He's got high arches in his feet, and he does have the thin shins, but he does have good calf muscles, and he has neuropathy, but it's different in both legs. So the only thing that we need to do is he's with me on no surgery. That would just be a disaster with Robbie, and he thinks it's really not even going to help. So we're just getting him continuing with braces on his ankles, but he showed me on the computer different braces that lace up, because Robbie keeps ripping off the Velcro and destroying his leg braces, and they're not really doing the job adequately. So we're going to buy him, they basically look like high top sneakers with laces all the way up. So I got to go home and order those. And that's it. And he has to write that up as a script, because that's the way to get them in the group home, to make sure that the braces go on. Everything must be in writing. So the doctor wrote that down as a prescription. So that's it. We're gonna head home, and we're gonna order some pizza because it's going on 6:30 already. We're gonna get some pizza and go home and eat. Okay, Rob, you wanna eat? Rob, look at mommy. Yes? Look at me. You wanna eat? Yes? All right. Slow down, piggy. Oh, you don't want it? What's the matter? We eat too much junk waiting for the doctor, right? We ate too many treats? Too many Cheerios? Ah, don't choke. No, you ate too much. You put too much in your mouth. You don't want it? No? All done? Okay. Bye. Oh God, you putting greasy hands all over my chair? Here, give me your hand. Here. Good. Okay? Geez, you were in a great mood 5 minutes ago. You okay now? Ah, you want a drink? All right. Nice. Thank you for throwing everything on the floor. Thank you. That's wonderful. All right, what do you want to do? Watch a tape? You want to watch a movie? Yes? Okay. Okay. It's 8 o'clock at night. We're trying to keep Robbie busy all the way until he goes to bed around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm about to give him his 8 o'clock meds that make him tired and sleepy. And I had my son, David, drive him around because I am tired of driving for 2 days. So I'm going to give him these meds. Good. Okay, guys. Go for a ride. See ya. Okay, it's 8:45. I just gave Robbie a shower. He rode in the car for a half hour with his brother, and now I'm going to give him a little massage with some Johnson's Bedtime lotion, and hopefully he'll go to bed. Okay, Rob, give me your feet. Let me see your feet. Good job. Now, here's what the doctor was talking about today. See, he's got the skinny shins, right? Skinny shins. Feet turn in, see? And he's got very high arches in his feet. That's why they thought he had Charcot-Marie tooth. Turns out he does not have that, but he has something that looks very similar. Poor muscle tone, but he certainly manages to get around okay. Right, Rob? Okay, let's do the lotion on your legs. Poor little mangled toes. His poor little mangled up toes. It's kind of a nice way to wind down the night for him.